everything was going great with my girlfriend until I got cast in a play as a man becoming a woman. It really freaked her out, more than when I played a Nazi or when I played a serial killer. For some reason, this really bothered her. "Well, I know you weren't really a Nazi," she said when I pointed that role out to her. "Or a serial killer with someone's arms and legs and torso in your freezer serving them to me as a stew." How she knew I wasn't really one of them, I didn't want to get into. Who had she dated before me? But the girl thing really threw her. "So, do you think maybe I really want to be a woman because I'm doing this part?" I was thrilled to be cast in the role. What a challenge! And I guess maybe that's why it bothered her. She thought getting this role was giving me the opportunity to explore that part of me, that aspect of me that I'd been running from or hiding from or denying about myself, which was not the case. In fact, our sex life got better for a while after I got the part, and how she reacted, because I was trying to reassure her, no, I'm a man. I enjoy being a man. See how much I like being a man. I tried to tell her with every kiss and every thrust. But I was looking forward to exploring that person, and that made her sick to her stomach. But playing a Nazi didn't? Well, I knew you weren't one. That made no sense to me. One day I came home all excited about the wig I was going to be wearing, and how it had bangs, and a part down the middle, and would stay out of my eyes, and wouldn't get caught in my eyelashes, and just how it made me feel like one of those girls in a L'Oreal or a Tresemme ad, and how it affected the way I moved, and stood, and sat. And she walked out of the room. I mean, I'll admit, I did at first kind of look to her for advice on the makeup, the mascara, and the eyeshadow, and the blush. What kind of brush would I need for that? And did she think I need eyeliner? "Why are you asking me?" she said. I thought it was kind of obvious. "Because you're a woman, and my girlfriend, and I thought maybe you could give me some advice." If you think for 1 minute I'm helping you put on makeup, you've got to be kidding. What's next, my bra? Actually, one day when she was out at the apartment, I did sort of try one on, but just so I'd know what size to get when I bought one. But I didn't tell her that. One morning she was putting hers on, and she really looked at it closely, as if examining it for any signs that maybe I'd used it in my research for the play. And she put it back in the drawer and put on another one. Actually, the one that I had tried on. She also gave her panties the once over to see if maybe I'd stretched any of them out, but I didn't tell her this. I'd already bought a variety to see how the different styles made me feel. Sexier? Or girlier? Or just practical no-nonsense because they were just plain white and not too much different than the ones I usually wore. All those weeks that I was in rehearsal, did she ever ask me how it was going? See if she could hold book for me so I could run my lines? Nope, not once. It was like I had some terrible disease, and if she didn't ask me about it or we didn't talk about it, it would just go away. The rehearsals were going so well. We all thought we'd probably get extended a week or two. The play was so good. We were all excited, and then to come home to her sitting there, looking grim, not asking me a thing about it. I finally moved out. I still had my own place, but we'd been trying the living together situation to see how that went, and I did. Next time I went to rehearsal, I brought that experience with me. Feeling shunned. Feeling like there was something wrong with me. And it made me think about some of those people really going through this and how this had really happened to a lot of them. Being kicked out by their families, having people make fun of them and see them as sick. All I lost was a girlfriend who didn't care in the least when I was strutting around the apartment a la a devoted follower of Hitler, or when I'd pretend to be eating an organ left over from one of my victims as that serial killer. That she laughed at and said, give me a bite. Yum yum. But me in a wig, wearing makeup, in high heels, that she couldn't handle. And there are really people having to deal with that. All these thoughts and experiences really enriched and enhanced my performance and made me feel happy and grateful because my character in the play had been fully accepted by his family. Her family. And quite frankly, Colleen and me breaking up, that enriched my life too. It showed me who she was better than any other experience we'd had up until then. Because, quite honestly, while I don't want to or need to become a woman, the truth of the matter is, that person that I played, she is a part of me. And I'm glad I didn't deny her. That for a little bit, every night for a few weeks, I got to be her. And I tried to say to the audience, with every performance, there's nothing to be afraid of. This is just one more human being. Just one more human being. One night during the run, and we were extended twice, someone going through the trans process came up to me after the show and took my hand and said, "You really nailed my experience." It was like winning the Oscar. And I was happier being her than I ever was, knowing that inside of me there is a little bit of that Nazi. There is a little bit of that serial killer. Lila Rose is much easier and nicer to live with. And sometimes, even though the play is over, I'll look in the mirror and she'll be looking back at me. I like knowing she's still there, a part of me.